Hi, this is Sabina Johnson, and this is my final project for Advanced Python where I use Django to create a web application that allows a user to upload all their receipts in one place and keep track of their spending, and then be able to view some reports related to their spending habits. So first thing that you'll notice is when you come to the home page is that it will redirect to accounts.login if you're not logged in. You do have to be logged in to be able to access all the functionality of this application. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to log into a user that already has a few receipts uploaded. You do notice I do have a little bit of user validation here. So let me start off by logging in. Okay, so once the user is logged in, you'll notice the HTML page does change a little bit. The user now has the ability to upload a receipt directly from the home page, and then also the navigation bar displays some options. We have receipts, reports, logout, and of course home. So I'm currently on home, and then when I go to receipts, this will give me a list of all of my receipts that I've uploaded. And then I can look at details. And in the details, it'll give me an image of the receipt that I've uploaded, all the items on the receipt, and then some additional information such as total and tax and the category and the date that it was uploaded, and then also the date of the actual receipt. And then within here, the user can delete a receipt as well. And the fun part is there is some reports. So I use Matplotlib to display some reports based off the user's receipts. And so here I'm displaying total expenses over time for each given day, and then also looking at a breakdown of the subtotal versus tax for that given day. This of course could be expanded a little bit more, but kind of gives them that first look of how they're spending their money on a given day. So this user already has some information. So let's take a look at one that does not. So you'll notice when I logged in with this user, I have admin up here. So this is a super user, so it has admin functionality. And if I take a peek here at my database, I actually have to refresh this here. I only have 2 users in here, and one is assigned admin functionality. And then I'm going to actually just go here for a second. So this is my receipts table. So I can show you when you upload receipts that will change. So when I go to receipts here, I only have 1 receipt uploaded right now. I want to get a few more uploaded. So I'll upload a target receipt. And then it does take just a little bit here to display as it fetches that from the database. So if I go in here, if I refresh the database, we'll see that receipt is now added, and then it is assigned that user ID of 1 to associate it with the current user. And then, so that's my receipt table. I also have a vendors table, which holds the name and category. So this is for all the receipts that are for all my users currently. And then I also have each item on the receipt, and that's my items. So let me go to the vendor so I can kind of show you how that gets updated as well. So I'm going to upload the Walmart receipt. Okay. All right, so when I refresh the database, then you'll see that Walmart receipt there. So looking at the details, again, there's the details for that particular receipt, and then we can go ahead and delete from here directly. So that does get removed from the view, but of course, most importantly, it does get removed from the database as well and is no longer in there. So you'll notice that user 1 only has 2 receipts, which is what we would expect at this time. So that's uploading, so adding receipts and then deleting, and then taking a look at the reports here is a little bit less interesting because we only have a couple receipts uploaded. But if I were to, oops, let's say I went back and I went and added my Walmart receipt again. Okay, and then you'll notice that the report does change there as we're uploading those receipts. And just quickly wanted to show the admin. So you'll see all the models down here. If I go into accounts, I can see the users as well. I can go into all the receipts. So this will show me all the receipts for all my users there. Okay, so I'm going to log out and then show you how, if you're coming to the application for the first time, you do need to create an account, a little bit of user validation there. Okay, so I would expect, of course, not to have any receipts in here. I want to go to my accounts. So you'll see that now we have a new user, which does not have admin access. So if I go to my receipts now, we should not, of course, see anything in there because I haven't uploaded anything yet. Okay, so that's how the application works. So let's talk about a little bit about the program itself. So what I'm using Veryfi. And Veryfi allows you to make API requests that then will upload a receipt and get a JSON response back with the information about that particular receipt. So here's my account. Get about 50 uploads before it does start charging you. So with that in mind, I had to build the project in such a way that where I wasn't going to be charged all the time. So part of that was using dependency injections. So take a look, where do I, yep, right here. So I created a mock client. So initially I made my API request. I got a JSON file back. I saved that JSON file and then used that with my mock client to build out the project, do my unit testing with, so I wasn't hitting that network request and getting charged. And then once I was ready to present the project, then I was able to use my actual Veryfi client. I want to show you some of my models here. So this is the receipt models. So we saw the vendor model in the database, the receipt, and then the receipt items, and then have some requirements for each one of those in here as well. One really interesting thing is I was building accounts, so that's user login and admin functionality. I decided to create a custom user. Just reading through the documentation, it seems to be best practice to create your own customer user model, and just because it gives you a little bit more flexibility on doing some different things. So for example, one of the things I was able to do by doing my custom is when a user is logging in, instead of requiring them to remember what their username was that they registered with, I simply set the username to their email. So just to kind of improve the user experience. So just have a little bit more flexibility by creating your own user model. The other thing that was just interesting, I was not very familiar with Django, so just reading up about best practices on how to set up the folder structure, how to set up the whole environment. So I did use a .env file to hold my secret keys. So that was just really interesting to work through that. Overall, I'm really proud of this project. It seems pretty useful, and if you want to look at any of this code, it is available on my GitHub. Thank you.